Laugh all you like. Like I say, I'm used to it. But this stuff is real. And it provides the deep in the rabbit hole understanding of what is actually happening all around us today. It became very clear that, first of all, that what we call flying saucers, the inner core of at least the US military, other militaries too, really, in the major countries, have this UFO technology, this anti-gravity technology. But in that period and before, if you talked about any UFO, any extraterrestrial phenomenon, the authorities shut you down immediately. Oh, it's a weather balloon. Oh, no, you're just crazy. But suddenly, pretty much, I guess, in the last 18 months, 2 years, that whole attitude has changed. And now they are openly showing you craft caught on the radar systems of the US military that are doing things that, at least in the public arena, human technology could never even come close to doing. They're now setting up a UFO office through the Pentagon to openly investigate these reports, well, as openly as they want the people to know. So why has there been this sudden shift in the same period from extraterrestrials and UFOs crazy to, oh, well, actually, look. Because something's going on, that's why. Like I say, all the way through this period of history that I've been charting, there has been a theme, a constant theme, of the elite in whatever circumstance or situation historically, interbreeding with itself. Most obviously, we're talking about royalty. And interestingly, the snake, particularly the cobra, has long way back been a symbol of royalty. And the royal background, why they consider themselves a superior bloodline, is because they are these hybrids, part human, part reptilian. And I'll come more into the way that manifests itself shortly. And so if they interbred outside of that hybrid code, then it would be diluted very quickly. And so there has been this obsession with the blue bloods interbreeding with each other. And when humans grew up, we still haven't in Britain yet, when they grew up to the extent that they rejected overt dictatorship by royal diktat and bloodline, these hybrid bloodlines went underground. They went into banking, into business, into politics, into all these other different areas that were not overtly royal, but they perceived themselves as such. And therefore they interbred incessantly in their dark suit situations, as they did before in royalty and aristocracy. And they've gone on manipulating human society ever since, but covertly, the most effective form of human control, because people are controlled and they can't see the force that's controlling them, unlike if they had an overt king or queen calling all the shots. And interestingly, I mean, I've been ridiculed massively for this, I don't care. I've talked about the British royal family being part human, part reptilian, and being one of these bloodlines, which is obviously that would be the case in terms of the way royalty works and what royalty is. And there's two videos I'm putting with this one. One is by a lady who made this video outside Windsor Castle about a week ago, where she's describing how she was abused and satanically abused by the British royal family, and how, while it was going on, they shape-shifted into reptilian form. And alongside that video is another one that I've done, must be 20 years ago now, in California, with someone who is describing, in her experience, all those thousands of miles away, the same phenomenon that she witnessed in satanic rituals and the reptilian shape-shifting, and her experience too with the British royal family. And you can see that full interview on Iconic, but there are clips from it I'm going to put with this video. So this is another side of this reptilian story in relation to what goes on in the world, because one of the big ways that I came across these stories of the reptilians was when I, in the 1990s, started to deeply research the satanic ritual and pedo background to these elite cult bloodlines and these elite cult people. You follow them and follow them deeply, deeply enough into the rabbit hole, and you'll come across Peter, and you'll come across Satanism. And there's a reason for that, as I explain in the books. So what was happening and what is happening is that these children have been put through these satanic rituals. Most of them don't survive, of course, but those who do. And that's where they've seen this shape-shifting phenomenon. And interestingly, there was what people would perceive as a strange story, because it was in a way, this week, when it surrounded the Norwegian royal family. And this is the headline: Princess Martha Louise's shaman boyfriend claims he is a hybrid of a space lizard, and then later deletes the post. This is Princess Martha Louise's shaman boyfriend. Durek Verrit, a self-proclaimed shaman and author from the US with a celebrity following, created controversy after he claimed in an Instagram post that he is no ordinary being, but a reptile from another planet holding the energies of the old spirits from the old world. I am a hybrid of a space lizard, brackets reptilian, and on Andromeda, and I also have ancient spirits from the ancient world, the 46-year-old claimed. He spoke out about a counterpart to his species, the Greys, who have taken people away from the planet to learn about our weaknesses and how frequencies move through us. Well, the abduction of people by these grey entities, sometimes reptilian, but mostly these grey entities in this case, is phenomenal in terms of people describing it around the world. I've talked to loads of them. And this grey alien phenomenon is fundamentally connected to this reptilian phenomenon. They basically work together. And this guy has been the boyfriend of this Norwegian princess for over 2 years. And then, again, you know, when I'm talking about ancient cultures and religions and how they so often describe things in reptilian terms, in terms of these gods and this negative force, these are biblical references to Satan. And here's one quote: "And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him." So the great dragon is used in terms of the Christian devil Satan, who deceiveth the whole world. What does anyone think the hell is going on now? What's this cult agenda through the ages to present day except deceiving the whole world? Another one from biblical sources. Then I saw an angel coming down from heaven with a key to the abyss. Obviously all this is symbolic. Holding in his hand a great chain. He seized the dragon, that ancient serpent who is the devil and Satan, and bound him for 1,000 years. And he threw him into the abyss, shut it, and sealed it over him, so that he could not deceive the nations until the 1,000 years were complete. After that, he must be released, it says, for a brief period. And abyss is described in dictionary definitions as the infernal regions, hell, and the abode of evil spirits. So it's no good, people, just dismissing this. I mean, they can. I mean, get a bucket of sand, stick your head in it. But these themes come together and relate to what's happening in the world today. And these reptilians are blood vampires. This is where all the blood drinking and stuff comes from in the Satanic rituals. And they're also energy vampires. They feed off low vibrational human energy, basically low vibrational human emotion, all based around the base frequency we call fear. Everything is a frequency. Every time you think, every time you feel, you're generating a frequency. And they're all unique frequencies dictated by your mental and emotional state. And so fear is a frequency. Anxiety, depression is a frequency. All different frequencies. And these low vibrational frequencies operate in a band of frequency which is described under different names all around the world. And among them is a Native American description of Icke, a mind virus, a very low vibrational state of mentality, and of course emotion too. And so the more that human society can be structured and manipulated to put humanity in these low vibrational emotional states, the COVID era, I rest my case, but also world wars, famines, and other catastrophes, where people fall into these extreme states of fear and all that goes with it. They are generating the very energy that these entities feed off. And again, none of this is an accident. So, how can these hybrid bloodlines shift from a human form to a non-human form? Well, it's dismissed, obviously, because people say you can't move from one solid form to another solid form. Well, I got news for you. No, you can't. But this is another reason why the nature of reality is kept from us. Because there is no solidity. It's an illusion of the human decoding processes. The foundation of this reality, the foundation of the body, everything, is a waveform information field. And what the five senses do is lock into that information field. Think of a computer decoding Wi-Fi. It's the same principle. They lock into that waveform field, waveform fields of various kinds, and they change that information from waveform into electrical information, which they then communicate to the brain, and the brain constructs that information, puts it all together in what we call the reality that we see and perceive. So this construct that the brain puts together from these sensory information sources is holographic. I mean, you look at holograms that you see in the world today, becoming more and more sophisticated, looking more and more solid when they're not. And they are creating this illusion of physicality, and they're creating the illusion also that the so-called physical world is outside of us when it's actually in here. And so what's happening when a shapeshift happens? And let me just give you a quick example of what I mean by waveform to brain decoding. As I'm speaking now, I'm not communicating through words in the base form. I'm communicating through a waveform information field that is created by my vocal cords. These sound waves then pass until someone picks them up. And the ears pick up this sound wave, this waveform information, turns it into electrical information, communicates it to the brain, and then the brain decodes it into what we perceive as words, language. There are now pain relief techniques where they work to break the communication, the electrical signal, from the point of the pain to the brain. Because if that can be broken, people won't feel pain, because they only feel pain when the point of impact communicates to the brain decodes it into ouch. Everything's going on in here from information provided by the senses. So, shape-shifting. It's impossible. No, it's not. What you've got with these hybrid bloodlines, they are hybrid information fields. So you've got a human information field, and you've got the reptilian information field. And in the normal course of events in our reality, for obvious reasons, the human field is the one that's projected. And so if I look at one of these hybrids, I'm going to decode that human field as a human body, as a human form. And that's going to continue while that human part of the hybrid field is the dominant one. But at times of shape-shifting, what happens is the other field moves into the dominant position. And thus, anyone observing that switch of a waveform information field, consciousness, is going to first be decoding the human field, and they'll see a human in here, in this holographic illusion we call the physical world. But when the other one becomes the dominant one, the reptilian, suddenly to the observer, there has been a physical shift from human to non-human, and then back again most of the time. And that's what a shape-shifting experience is. It's all going on in here in the human decoding processes. It's not happening physically because there is no physical. Something else about this reptilian theme, as I've talked to people who've experienced these entities around the world and looked at the ancient descriptions of them too, they are psychopaths. Well, this group of them are. I'm not saying all reptilian entities are like this, but these are. They are psychopaths. They have no compassion. They have no empathy. What have I been saying for 30 years about this cult? They're run by psychopaths. They have no empathy and no compassion. And then you look at another part of this, and you have to smile, really, I guess, when you look around the world today. One of the traits that you keep picking up in the descriptions of these reptilians, both ancient and modern, is that they are obsessed with technology. Technology is their means of control. And what we're having played out across the world is a global technological prison being played out to ensnare and entrap the entirety of the human race. And I've been saying for all this time that this technology that keeps coming out, one thing after another, it's not coming out randomly. It's been known about in the underground bases and the secret projects where this interaction between the non-human and the human can take place for ages, long way back. And what they're doing is they're playing it out of these secret projects via frontmen and cover stories into the public arena in a particular order that basically is ensnaring again humanity in a step-by-step process. So first of all, you get people addicted to technology that they hold. Your goal is to get inside their body. So the next stage is to take the technology on to that which is on the body. And all these devices now which you wear and are on the body. And then you go inside the body, which is what's happening now. Gotcha. And if you notice, there's not a time in this rollout of this technology that's happening so fast, whereby the elite would be sitting around strumming its fingers, saying, you know, well, we've got to wait for some geek in a garage somewhere to invent the next level of control, haven't we? God, how long do you think it will take? No, isn't it? There's none of these lag periods. The next thing comes after the next thing comes after the next thing comes. Because it's already there. And another point, of course, is that back in the 90s when I traveled America, talking to nobody, but actually doing a phenomenal amount of research and talking to a lot of insiders in the military and intelligence in these other areas of research, it became very clear that, first of all, that what we call flying saucers, the inner core of at least the US military, other militaries too, really, in the major countries, have this UFO technology, this anti-gravity technology. But in that period and before, if you talked about any UFO, any extraterrestrial phenomenon, the authorities shut you down immediately. Oh, it's a weather balloon. Oh, no, you're just crazy. But suddenly, pretty much, I guess, in the last 18 months, 2 years, that whole attitude has changed. And now they are openly showing you craft caught on the radar systems of the US military that are doing things that, at least in the public arena, human technology could never even come close to doing. They're now setting up a UFO office through the Pentagon to openly investigate these reports, well, as openly as they want the people to know. So why has there been this sudden shift in the same period from extraterrestrials and the UFOs crazy to, oh, well, actually, look. Because something's going on, that's why, as we'll see as this moves along. And we shouldn't forget a project called Project Bluebeam, which was written about back in the 90s, of a plan to stage a fake alien invasion as part of this massive transformation of human society into a global state. So we're threatened by an invasion from outside. Oh, we must all come together and pool everything and pool the militaries and all that stuff. I'm not saying that will happen. I'm saying there's definitely a plan in which that scenario is included. So you put all this together, and look in the books, you know, I do it in great detail. And to dismiss all these different clues, all these different pieces of evidence in the light of current events and this phenomenal anti-human agenda that's unfolding, it would be ridiculous to just dismiss it without question. And if you want a simple portrayal of what is actually happening and has happened all these centuries and beyond, as this power group has got more and more powers till it's now global, look no further than the Avatar movies. You had this moon symbolic of Earth. And there lived a race of blue people, the Na'vi. And the American military turn up, symbolic of these reptilians. And they want to infiltrate Na'vi society. Now, if they turn up as humans, then the Na'vi are going to go, "You're not like us, mate, are you?" So what did they do in the movie? They took an outer form that looked like the blue people and thus infiltrated that society and sought to take it over by posing as one of the race they were seeking to take over. And that laugh, I am used to it. That is what actually is happening. And we're seeing the fruits of it all around us today. The world is nothing like we think it is. It is nothing like we've been told it is. We've been told it is like this to hide the fact that it's actually like that. So, laugh all you like. Like I say, I'm used to it. But this stuff is real. And it provides the deep in the rabbit hole understanding of what is actually happening all around us today.
As David Icke said, it's becoming more and more acceptable, more and more easy to swallow for those who find it hard to believe. But like me personally, like me have a mind, like I'm one of those guys who said when this whole ET, extraterrestrial, alien, UFO, I said it's easy for me to believe that, yeah, it's other life forms out there. So that was no big, no big issue with me, people, to want to expand, understand the UFO, the alien forces beyond this, because we know for a fact that there are forces out there beyond our ability to even grasp or even start to think about those forces. So it's much more, people. A lot of things we can't even start to think about. So until we break this veil, goes deep, deep, left no stone unturned. Everything should be digged up. One by one grain by one, people. Every stone, every grain. Just so we can say, yeah. We are learn, we are try expand, we are try go deeper. We are try to get rid of these psychopathics, maniacs, heartless, soulless criminals, people that dictate to us and say they are our leaders, quote unquote. They are rulers. They are the lawmakers, and we should abide, follow their laws. Whoa. But people, this whole, I have to go back to it. This whole, what's going on right now? What's dominating the news? This whole Epstein thing. I'm not seeing a lot of people make any connection about like the rituals. No one, literally, in the mainstream, you're not hearing that. You know these people? Because what? Everything is so orchestrated. Everyone needs to focus on Trump linkage with Epstein. That's just the juice topic. That's just what everybody wanted. Yeah, Trump and Epstein in the same sentence. So what about like rituals and what was going on the island? What are those temples for? What? Why a island? Like why? We need to go deep into the happenings. Well, we know we won't get there, but it's orchestrated, people. It's a world where you will only know half the story, or a quarter. If you know half, that's probably all too much. Well, we're going, people. As I said, we're the searchers. We're the searching party, people. Searching, seeking. It's never stop, people. So many deceptions, so many control mechanisms in this world that you gotta search, go deep into everything that's been uttered by everyone. Dig deep, you. So, yeah, we're at that juncture. It's the information age. Information it's overwhelming, people. And we have to search every try, expand our mind. We can't just focus on one and get caught into our next box and our next dead end. So we keep on searching, we keep on seeking knowledge, and that's why David Icke is so important in these times, people. The man is literally the top of the knowledge research field, people. We have to be honest, people. David Icke is that guy. David Icke. Respect. Love. More life. Long life, people. And love to everyone. Love to everyone here, people. Love.